Part 2. An hour later, the rain had stopped. My grandmother came home. The second she walked in, Coco called out to her. "Frances, thank God you're here. There's something in the house." "What was it?" "I don't know, but I could hear it, and there was a smell." My gran started sniffing the air. "Dear Lord, yes, I can smell it too. Is it a rat? Did something die?" "It's definitely in the house." They went back and forth about it, quite concerned, and then, as it was getting dark, my mother came home from work. The second she walked in, my gran called out to her. "Oh, no mi cielo. No mi cielo. There's something in the house." "What? What do you mean?" Coco told her the story, the sounds, the smells. Then my mom, who has a keen sense of smell, started going around the kitchen, sniffing. "Yes, I can smell it. I can find it. I can find it." She went to the rubbish bin. "It's in here." She lifted out the rubbish, pulled out the folded newspaper underneath and opened it up, and there was my little turd. She showed it to Gran. "Look!" "What? How did it get there?" Coco, still blind, still stuck in her chair, was dying to know what was happening. "What's going on?" she cried. "What's going on? Did you find it?" "It's poop," Mom said. "There's poop in the bottom of the dustbin." "But how?" Coco said. "There was no one here." "Are you sure there was no one here?" "Yes, I called out to everyone. No one came." My mother gasped. "We've been bewitched. It's a demon." For my mother, this was the logical conclusion, because that's how witchcraft works. If someone has put a curse on you or your home, there's always the talisman, or totem, a tuft of hair or the head of a cat, the physical manifestation of the spiritual thing, proof of the demon's presence. Once my mom found the turd, she was more than furious. This was serious. They had evidence. She came into the bedroom. Trevor, wake up." "What?" I said, playing dumb. "What's going on?" "Come, there's a demon in the house." She took my hand and dragged me out of bed. It was all hands on deck, time for action. The first thing we had to do was go outside and burn the evidence. That's what you do with witchcraft. The only way to destroy it is to burn the physical thing. We went out to the yard, and my mom put the newspaper with my little turd on the driveway, lit a match, and set it on fire. Then my mom and my gran stood around the burning turd, praying and singing songs of praise. The commotion didn't stop there because when there's a demon around, the whole community has to join together to drive it out. If you're not part of the prayer, the demon might leave our house and go to your house and curse you. So we needed everyone. The alarm was raised. The call went out. My tiny old gran was out the gate, going up and down the block, calling to all the other old grannies for an emergency prayer meeting. "Come, we've been bewitched." I stood there, my turd burning in the driveway, my poor aged grandmother tottering up and down the street in a panic, and I didn't know what to do. I knew there was no demon, but there was no way I could come clean. The hiding I would have to endure? Good Lord. Honesty was never the best policy when it came to a hiding. I kept quiet. A hiding would be a beating, hitting his hide. That's where that term comes from. Moments later, the grannies came streaming in with their Bibles. Through the gate and up the driveway, a dozen or more at least. Everyone went inside. The house was packed. This was by far the biggest prayer meeting we'd ever had. The biggest thing that had ever happened in the history of our home, period. Everyone sat in the circle, praying, and the prayers were strong. The grannies were chanting and murmuring and swaying back and forth, speaking in tongues. I was doing my best to keep my head low and stay out of it. Then my grandmother reached back and grabbed me, pulled me into the middle of the circle, and looked into my eyes. "Trevor, pray." "Yes," my mother said. "Help us. Pray, Trevor. Pray to God to kill the demon." I was terrified. I believed in the power of prayer, so if I prayed to God to kill the thing that left the turd, and the thing that left the turd was me, then God was going to kill me. I froze. I didn't know what to do. But all the grannies were looking at me, so I prayed, stumbling through as best I could. "Dear Lord, please protect us, from whoever did this, but we don't know what happened exactly. Maybe it was a big misunderstanding, and, maybe we shouldn't be quick to judge when we don't know the whole story. And I mean, of course, you know best, Heavenly Father, but maybe this time it wasn't actually a demon because who can say for certain? So maybe cut whoever it was a break." End of part 2.